Welcome into Joe Montana Stadium here in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffmeyer, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. Tonight's game, the Ringgold Rams on homecoming will take on the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Hello, everyone. This is Gary Frankhauser along with Rick Frank and Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you in for tonight's Quad A football action. The Mustangs coming in 2-2 overall, 0-2 in conference, and the Ringgold Rams 1-2 overall and 1-2 in conference. Ringgold losing to Greensburg-Salem, winning against Albert Gallatin, losing to Bell Vernon. The Mustangs winning their opener against Mount Pleasant non-conference, winning their second game against Indiana non-conference, but then losing to Greensburg-Salem and Trinity. So it's an important conference game for both teams as they try to move up in the conference, and we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network.
The Fayette Furnace Company, established in 1920 with over 100 years of combined experience in the industry. They are employee-owned and operated. They take pride in solving your home heating and air conditioning needs. They are the area's oldest and most reliable HVAC contractor. They specialize in creating quality energy-saving comfort for your home by using the most advanced technology in the industry. Along with the Carrier Corporation, Fayette Furnace can put together a system to improve your comfort, save you money on energy consumption, and improve any deficiencies in your existing system. They specialize in green speed inverter technology and split systems, ductless split units, zoning, radiant heat, boilers, hot water tanks, tankless water heaters, and many more applications. Call the Fayette Furnace Company today at 724-438-5400. That's 724-438-5400. Ask for Mike to schedule a free consultation.
Welcome back. Welcome back on the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the Mustangs of Laurel Highlands, Rick, who's our starters on offense? Looking across that backfield, I know we're going to see Edenfield and Basinger at quarterback. You probably have Chad Petrus in at fullback. And across the front line, several of the Mustangs have platooned also. So the Mustangs will have the need to have everyone fresh. So across that front line, left tackle Jonathan Lady, number 55, is 6 foot, 215-pound senior. Left guard Joey Conley, 6'1", 250-pound sophomore. At center, number 58, Will Kuznar, 5'9", 230-pound senior. At right guard, number 59, Cody Christopher, he's a senior. And at right tackle, number 77, Brandon Shurry. Across the back, we have wingbacks and wide receivers that are kind of interchangeable. Ryan Richter, number 10, a senior. Number 1, Jacob McClusack, a senior. As we said, Chad Petrus will see some action in the backfield. Last week, we saw a lot of Collins, the senior. Jadakiss Collins, he saw some actions last week against Trinity, so we'll probably see him tonight also. Ryan Fike and Jacob Dukeman also on the outside. What does that defense look like, or offense? Which one do you want to do for Ringgold?
We'll do the offense.
All right.
Well, Gary. Okay, Gary, for the Ringgold Ram offense, across the front line, you have number 54, Skylar Hatton, a junior, one of the few juniors on the Rams starting team. Left guard, number 66, Braden Pusel. He's a senior. Number 74, Alex Grossi, is taking the play. He's a substitute. Justin Nemec is hurt. Number 57, Jacob Meyer. He's a right guard. Number 50, Andrew Vacherin. He's a senior. Wide receivers, Number 14, C.J. Franks is a senior. Number 1, Darius Tyree, he's their big receiving threat. He's a senior. Number 8, Max Majeski, he's a senior. The running backs, tailback, number 23, Brendan Small. Fullback, number 44, Evans Higgs. He's a senior. And the platoon will be number 11, Bo Haynes, and number 13, Caleb Eisel at quarterbacks, rotating quarterbacks, Gary.
Thanks, Rick. Those are our starters, and we're going to be back with the coin toss and the opening kick right after this. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbar.
Welcome everyone back to Joe Montana Stadium in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. The Mustangs of Laurel Highlands traveling down the river to face the Ringgold Rams, trying to get on the winning side of the ledger for conference play. The Mustangs 2-2 overall, 0-2 in conference. Ringgold coming in with 1 win in conference and 2 losses. So a very important conference game for both squads as the Ringgold Rams take the field. We're about 3.5 minutes from kickoff, and while we have a chance, we want to remind everyone both on the TV side, South Union Township Sports Network, and WMBS of a great event coming up on Sunday, October the 8th. That's Brunch on the Bridge, prepared by Chef Joe Carey. The South Union Township will be sponsoring the Sheepskin Trail Brunch on the Bridge. A buffet is going to include French toast, omelets, ham, potatoes, fruit salad, and much, much more. And it will be at the bridge on the Sheepskin Trail out at the Hutchison Park. $15 per person. Kids will eat for free. This is all sponsored by the Friends of the Sheepskin Trail, and the proceeds will benefit the Sheepskin Trail Match Fund. You can get tickets by calling the township or stopping down at the township, 724-438-5480. Rick, that's going to be another great event. And that
I'm hungry already. I'm a big breakfast fan.
The Sheepskin Trail is a great thing. So the captains are about to approach the midfield for the Mustangs. We have McClusack along with Richter and Sean Richter and Ryan Richter and Edenfield as the captains across the way for Ringgold. Try to pick up those numbers. Looks like Max Majeski is one of those. We're sure of that. Darius Tyree. Try to zoom in out there, Jer. Pick up those numbers.
Looks like number 66, Braden Pusel.
That's correct. And number 23. That's Brendan Small, the running back.
Oh, yeah.
So those are the captains as we will approach 2 minutes to kickoff here. And while we have that chance, we'll take a quick break both on South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS with the MSA Sports Network.
And the South Union Township Sports Network in Uniontown. Smith, Lewis & Chess, financial services in Uniontown, would like to wish the Laurel Highlands football team and their coaches good luck this football season.
Back on the South Union Township Sports Network. Captains meeting at midfield. Going over the pregame instructions. That's referee Sipe out there.
Gary, for the, okay, we got the coin toss.
Mustangs will receive, and they deferred. They won the toss and deferred. Ringgold will receive, going left to right on your TV screen in their home blue and gold uniforms. The Mustangs traveling white shirts, red pants, the white helmets. Will be going right to left. So it's going to be real important for the Mustangs to get off to a quick start here, Rick, and establish some kind of momentum. Last week, the Mustangs lost to Trinity and really held their own for the first half defensively, but that was the problem. The defense was on the field almost the entire first half.
Well, they needed to run the clock, move the chains, and depends which Mustangs team shows up. They've shown signs of being very good, very consistent, very they control the game, and then other times they don't.
Very optimistic after the Mount Pleasant win, and then really putting up an offensive display at Indiana. I didn't make that game, but I heard you guys calling the game, and it really sounded like the Mustangs were hitting on all cylinders offensively. But since then, it's been a total different story.
Well, they have the tools, they have the guys, and they have the talent. They just have to not make the mistakes.
Chad Petrus teeing it up, and we are underway. Short kick, and it's going to be taken at about the 35-yard line, trying to go laterally. That's number 22 for Ringgold, and he is tackled for no gain. So an effective kickoff there, tackle there by number 65 for the Mustangs. That's Aaron Huey, and that was number 22, Richard Massey, with the return. So short kick, but no return, as the ball will sit at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Ringgold.
I think Petrus, Chad was trying to kick it, pooch it over that second line of ball handlers. They had the hands team on there. It looked like that's what he wanted to do.
Tried to keep it out of the hands of the fast Darius Tyree. Coming up to the line now for Ringgold. And fake inside pass right away over the middle, and it's a short pass. And that was from Eisel. He hits number 8. And that's Majeski. We'll be calling his name a lot here this evening. So that was a gain of about 4.5 on the play. Just make it 4. 2nd down and 6 out to the 39-yard line. So quick hitter there. The Mustangs defensively on the spot kept that to a short 4-yard gain. Back out now, as you said, starting at quarterback, Caleb Eisel. One back to his right, twin receivers left. And he's going to fake out the sweep and hand it up inside. Power run that time by the fullback. Brendan Small, the ball carrier, number 23, and he drags Mustang tacklers out to the 44-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1, Rick.
Well, the scouting report that we have is when they're going to throw it, Eisel's in the game, and when they're going to run it primarily, that Haynes will be in the game.
That's right, but you got to believe that Ringgold scouted the Mustangs after that Trinity game, and you may see a lot of power running. The Mustangs were able to stop for 4- and 5-yard gains, but that's just not enough to get off the field on 3rd down. 3rd and 1. Eisel in the shotgun, handing again to Small, wide open on the right side. Nobody has him. He's past the 50, inside Mustang territory, hit out of bounds at the Mustang 43-yard line. Nobody on the right side able there for the Mustangs, as Basinger had to push him out after he gained from the 44-yard line at 6 and 14-yard run.
From the Mustang 42.
From the Mustang 42, a quick 1st down picked up by Ringgold. That was wide open on the right side off tackle. No containment there by the Mustangs. Now, screen out to the left. That ball is on the turf and unable to catch that one on the quick screen left intended for Darius Tyree, trying to get him out there in open field. And Eisel just off the mark on that one.
That was a forward pass, fortunately, that the receiver out there got in front of him.
Fortunate for Ringgold.
Yeah, not for the Mustangs.
2nd and 10. Heisel goes all the way to the sideline, gets the play, and jogs back in. Play clock inside 20. He has Brendan Small as his protector in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers now out wide left. Heisel straight back, looking for the slant pattern, has a man open, and that's Majeski, pulls it in inside Mustang territory among 3 or 4 Mustangs. Majeski just went up and got it. Finally tackled there by number 6 for the Mustangs. That was Sean Richter. But that ball goes all the way down to the Mustang 19-yard line.
23-yard pass.
Looked like that was going to be among a bunch of defenders, but the tall Max Majeski, 6'4", 205-pounder, just went straight up and got it, and then took off from about the 25-yard line inside the 20 to the 19. Now under center, and it's going to be Small on the sweep. Good pursuit by the Mustangs. Can they bring him down? They do. Edenfield has him in the backfield.
That was a tackle by committee there.
Good pursuit and good containment on the left side. Student body left for Brendan Small. They had everyone out there blocking, but the Mustangs' penetration pushes it back to the 27-yard line.
Loss of 8.
Loss of 7 on the play.
We're at the 9-minute mark. First possession of the game for the Ringgold Rams. No score.
From the Mustang 27.
The Rams don't seem to be afraid of passing the ball, Gary. I would expect that this would be a pass play also.
Heisel has 2 to the left and a wide receiver to the right. He goes 2 steps back, sends it down the field on the fade pattern. That's out of play, so Majeski no chance for that one, as Heisel just lofted that up, intended for Majeski. And you got to believe they're just throwing it in his direction, knowing that he's going to go up and get it. But that one was out of bounds on the left side. Big play here for the Mustang defense. 3rd down and 17 from the 27-yard line.
It's a beautiful night tonight, Gary. Probably 75 degrees, no wind, perfect conditions. Homecoming tonight.
You would think this might be 4-down territory for Ringgold. They bring twins all the way out here to the right side now.
All their passes have been to the left side so far, Gary, so we'll see.
Now here's Geisel, rolling right, looking, has a man in the end zone. That's Tyree, and he catches it in play at the 5-yard line. So just a long, deep square out by Darius Tyree. We're locked out of bounds there by Ryan Fike, but down to the 5-yard lines. Mustangs do not get off the field on a 3rd and 17. Big first down, 1st and goal for the Ringgold Rams at the 5, trying to post a early score.
22-yard pass there, Gary. He was wide open too.
Reminiscent of the last couple games for the Mustangs, not being able to get off the field on 3rd and long. Official timeout. Got a little bit of a conversation down here.
It's a little bit unusual setup, Gary. The home team is on the opposite side of the field, and the Mustangs are on the stand with the side with the stands.
Talked to some coaches about that. They like for if that's what they choose to do, they figure that the players will not be distracted by their buddies up in the stands during the game.
Well, the field's pretty close to the stands, so you could hear it. Mustang Stadium, the sideline's a little further away.
1st and goal at the 5 now. The confusion is fixed, whatever it was. This will be Small off the right side, and he just kind of falls forward for about 2 yards. Tackle made there by number 61 for the Mustangs, James Price. Down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2. 2nd and goal from the 3.
That's his 4th carry, Gary, for 29 yards.
We're already down to 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first. This is just the first drive of the night for Ringgold, and they've possessed it for almost 4 minutes already. Geisel now will go up under center with an eye backfield. Fullback blocking up in there, and there goes Small up the middle, and he will take it into the end zone for the Ringgold touchdown. Just follow the block there of his fullback, Evan Higgs. 3-yard run for Brendan Small, and that puts Ringgold on top. 6-0 right at the 8-minute mark here of the first. See who's on for the extra point. That's number 34 for Ringgold, Jackson O'Connor. He's a soccer player. We had him last week against the Mustangs. So O'Connor left-footed, puts it up and through. Flag on the play. What do we got? Let's see. I think it was after the play.
They're talking to the Ringgold coach.
We'll keep it here to figure out the penalty just for a moment.
The Mustangs are staying on the field.
They have not put up the score on the board yet, so let's see what we got.
Bringing the line judge in for some other consultation.
3-yard run by Brendan Small has posted the Ringgold Rams to a 7-0 lead on their first drive of the evening. Drive of 65 yards. Started at their own 35, and a lot of work done there by Brendan Small, along with a big catch by Majeski and also Darius Tyree. So it was a false start, and they're going to make him do it again. So it pushes it out to the 8-yard line. And O'Connor will be kicking now from the 15. It'll be a 25-yard extra point. High snap. Gets it up and plenty of leg, and this time it's good again. So we're still at the 8-minute mark, but the Rams have now posted a 7-0 lead over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. We'll be back on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS and the MSA Sports Network. Welcome back on the South Union Township Sports Network, about to be rejoined by WMBS, and teeing it up for the Ringgold Rams, number 34, Jackson O'Connor, the senior.
Number 1, Jake McClusack.
Jake McClusack deep for the Mustangs. Here's the kick, a low liner, and that's going to hit the ground at about the 10 and be taking it to 5. Up past the 15 to the 20, and drugged down there on about the 23-yard line. That's number 8 for the Mustangs on the return, Dominic Richter.
Dominic Richter on the return.
Mustangs will start their first possession at the 22-yard line.
Well, I said it's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night for spectators. It's probably a little warm for football, and for that defense to be on the field for 4 straight minutes there, that's early in the game. I hope it doesn't take its toll later.
And at quarterback is Connor Basinger for the Mustangs. First and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Dukeman coming wide to the near side. Tight end and wing to the right. Basinger with a tight end, double tight end form. McClusack will try to come around the left side. Containment doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Big hit there by Tyree at about the 21-yard line. Make it at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Make it 1, almost out to the 21-yard line. Second down and 11. McClusack ran a long way on that play, just never was able to cut it up. And coming from that safety spot, Tyree just flew through the defense, or the blocking of Laurel Highlands, and made the tackle.
Never had a chance to get to the corner.
Basinger now with Collins to his right. Richter in motion. Rolling right now, Basinger looking. Has Edenfield, and it's off his hands. A little high, but Edenfield was at about the 25-yard line. Just a flood the zone play by the Mustangs. And 3 receivers on out patterns to the right side. Try to get Edenfield into the offense. So we got Edenfield and Basinger on the field at the same time, Rick.
Yeah, that hasn't happened too much this year at all. I wasn't at last week's game, but it's been one or the other.
So now another 3rd down and 11. Big play for the Mustangs. They do not want to go 3 and out here early. Basinger calling the signals. Rolling right again, has pressure. He's going to be brought down deep in Mustang territory. 3 Ringgold Rams on the sack, back at about the 10-yard line. First man in there looked like number 44, Evan
blitzed.
Higgs. And he caught Basinger all the way back at the 11-yard line, make it the 12.
And Evan Higgs.
And it's going to bring up 4th and 21. So an inauspicious start for the Mustang offense.
Yeah, and having Connor start running, I guess that was a pass play, but he lost 9 yards on that. They went pretty much to the pass this
Dukeman
series.
with the tail dragger of a kick, hits at about the 38-yard line and goes backwards. So a kick from the 11-yard line only out to the 36-yard line, I believe. Where were they going to mark that, Rick? Oh, inside at about the 32-yard line. So another bad break for the Mustangs as the punt hit at about the 40 and just bounced backwards 8 yards. And Ringgold will be set up with a short field at the 32-yard line. Defense back on the field. Mustangs with just a minute and a half of possession, 3 plays and out. Eisel back in at quarterback. Has Small to his left. Tight end right. Sends Tyree in motion. Now out here in the screen pass to Tyree. Has 2 blockers in front. Tries a stiff arm, but that's going to be a good play and knocked out of bounds by the Mustang defense.
I think he picked up 2 on that. He tried to stiff arm Ian Edenfield, and Ian wasn't having any of that.
Basinger helped out also, so it's a no gain on the play.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. From the Mustangs 32.
Good defense by the Mustangs on that play.
Got to believe that Ringgold wants to get Tyree in the offense with that speed. Couple screen passes already attempted to him and 1 complete pass down to the 5-yard line. Now Small is right up behind the line as a blocker. They're fake inside, and now he takes it on the left side as a trap play and just dragging Mustang tacklers down to about the 25-yard line. That's Brendan Small. Just lined up to the right of the quarterback and a fake on the jet sweep and then the trap inside gives Small a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 for the round.
Well, the program listed him at 5'9", 190, but he powered that run. He didn't look like a 190-pound guy. He took Mustangs with him.
Mustang linebackers just hanging on for dear life, but a 7-yard pickup now, 3rd and 3. Small has not been able to be stopped by the Mustangs yet. And here's the option play, and this is the quarterback, Eisel, going off left tackle, and he's close to the first down.
Eisel on a key.
Brought down there by Petrus, along with number 59, Cody Christopher. But it's right at the first down marker. Let's see what they call.
It depends what the spot is. I think he's just short.
4th and 1, about a half a yard. So Edenfield coming over, and he's going to come in on defense now. Somebody needs to come out. We finally do get somebody running to the sideline. That's Christopher. Big play for the Mustangs again, trying to get off the field defensively. 4th and a half a yard. You got to believe you key on Small here. And now Geisel will take it himself, but he is knocked backwards and then bounces through the line. Yeah. That was Bo Haynes actually who came in, Rick. So Haynes on the keeper. Looked like the Mustangs had him stopped at the point of attack, but he bounced backwards, then went to his right and picked up the necessary 2 yards for a first down at the 20-yard line.
Well, Haynes is a fair amount bigger than Eisel, so it would make sense if you're going to do that quarterback sneak. He's probably 30 pounds heavier according to the program.
And Eisel's back in. Twin receivers to the right, wide to the left, Small sidecar to the right. Straight back goes Eisel, and he's going to run it up the middle. Quarterback sneak. Actually a broken play, and he'll take it down close to another first down at about the 12-yard line, inside the 12-yard line. Basinger has to bring him down, but that was not a designed run. as he went back, could not find anyone open and just took off to the right side. Another big gainer on first down, sets up 2nd and 1.
9-yard pickup.
And we're down to 3 minutes to go here in the first half. I'm sorry, the first quarter.
Yeah, the Mustangs offense was on the field for 55 seconds, and the other 9 minutes was the defense.
Geisel in the shotgun. Again, Small to his right. 3 receivers now out to the left. Fakes inside to Small. Now he does give it to him, and he's going to try to cut back, and the Mustang defense is there, but I believe he has enough for the first down.
I think it's close. Mustangs did a good job of plugging up that hole, but Small only had to go a yard.
The right side with
looks like 3rd down.
Edenfield, and I think they may call for a measurement, but Mustangs also over there. Richter on defense, but this is 3rd and about 2 inches, I think. What do you think they'll do here, Rick?
Well,
everyone in the stadium knows it's. Well, Geisel's still in, though, so they got the fullback up there to block for Small. We got to give it to him right up the middle, and they do, but the Mustangs had him in the line again, and he just sidestepped a tackler and gets it down to about the 6-yard line. Finally, Chury there, along with number 61 for the Mustangs, and the Mustangs with hands on hips. That's James Price, has set up another 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Going to be 1st and goal for the Rams.
We are under 2 minutes to go here in the first.
Mustangs are going to have to make a couple big plays here.
Digging themselves a hole here early, only trailing 7-0, but the Rams threatening again on the short field after the punt by the Mustangs. Now the fade pattern, wide open is Majeski, and he just stopped, turned back, had the defender for the Mustangs, Richter, spinning around, and he just goes into the end zone for the touchdown on the left side. Beautifully designed play as Majeski just goes down into the end zone. Looks as if he's going to cut it across the middle and just stops and goes back to the sideline.
I got to tell you, Gary, there was a big push off there by Majeski. That could have been pass interference very easily. There's a reason why he was wide open. He was covered pretty well in that corner, and the defensive back got pushed away.
Now the kick by O'Connor is through the uprights, so with 1:26 to go here in the first, it's now Ringgold 14, Laurel Highlands nothing. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS and the MSA Sports Network.
Important for people to know that we represent injured people to the best of our ability, and we've been successful doing that. And I don't say that to have people come to see us because we have been successful. I say that because it's true, and it's important.
Another important aspect is the experience that we have is local experience in the court system in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back on the South Union Township Sports Network. About to be joined once again by WMBS. Deep for the Mustangs, number 8, Richter, Dominic Richter. O'Connor will once again do the kicking for the Rams. It's a high, short kick this time. This looks like McClusack from the 8-yard line to the right sideline, and he gets through to the 40, and a flag flies. Let's see what happens. On the return, Jacob McClusack took it at about the 18-yard line down the right side, had it all the way to the 45-yard line, but I think that's going to be pushed back. And the Mustangs once again shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty on a good play.
Well, there was, it looked like a block in the back or something on the far side where McClusack was running.
That's the call, block in the back at about the 38-yard line. So they're going to be once again pushed back to about the 28-yard line with 1:20 to go here in the first. Just the second possession by the Mustangs. And it'll be all the way to the 27-yard line. So the Mustangs need to find a way to put some yards up on offense. So far they're -9, I believe, Rick.
That's exactly it. Not a good way to start, but they need to get some traction here.
Basinger,
First and 10 for the Mustangs.
double wing formation, tight end to the left. Sends McClusack into motion, handoff up the middle. No, he fakes it, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. So what looked like a run up the middle was deciphered by the Rams and tackled for a loss of about 7 again. Let's see what they call 5-yard loss. Basinger on the keeper to the right side. Loss of 6.
Well, it looks like they've scouted Connor pretty well after those first 2 big games.
Well, they didn't go for the fake for Petrus up the middle. And
I think Connor was going to drop back or pitch it.
Mustangs
Never happened.
offensive linemen need to sustain some blocks to give Connor the chance to run this read option. And now Richter on the right side has some room and a couple blockers out there, sidesteps a couple defenders for Ringgold and gets it out to about the 30-yard line. Tackle over there by number 55 for Ringgold. That's Austin Wagner, as well as Higgs. Evan Higgs also over there. So a 3rd and 7 for the Mustangs. And we may not see this play get off for the first quarter as we're under 10 seconds. So the Mustangs are going to let this clock run down, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Gary Frankhauser along with Rick Frank. It's the Ringgold Rams 14, the Mustangs nothing after first quarter action here on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS.
Brings up 3rd and 7 for the Mustangs.
Here we go, the Mustangs starting the second quarter, trailing 14-0 and facing a 3rd down and 7 at their own 30-yard line. Basinger barking signals. He'll go straight back, looking, has late pressure now, and he bounces out, but he's going to be dropped back for another loss, all the way back at about the 22-yard line. Got to get rid of that ball, Rick.
Yeah, well, he was waiting for somebody to come
He had
open
enough time. He had some time, but
he was waiting for Edenfield to come open downfield. Kind of curious that Edenfield's still a receiver, defying what they'd done all the previous games.
Loss of 6 on the play brings up 4th down and 14. Once again, the Mustangs 3 and out.
That's minus 20 yards rushing for Connor, Gary.
Dukeman now launches
Nice
a
punt.
long one. Tyree will let it bounce this time, and it's going to go all the way back in. He tries to pick it up and does back at the 30, and he's going to juke a few Mustangs, try to get the edge. Now the Mustangs are able to corral him.
Flag
and
on
there's
the play.
flags on the play, all
2.
kind of flags on the play at about the 25-yard line. So let's see what the call is, but
Tyree,
good punt that time by Dukeman.
Great punt, and he got a good roll, and the Mustangs didn't think that Tyree was going to pick it up.
So now let's see if the Ringgold Rams are guilty of a penalty, and it looks like that's the case. Holding on Ringgold. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty. First down, but that will move it back inside the 20. Let's see where they're going to place it.
Blocking it back against the Rams.
Well, I think Darius
All the way
made
back
most
to
of
the
that
11-yard
back.
line. So that was from the, 27-yard line back to the 11. So good change of field position there by the Mustangs. Let's see if they can get off the field defensively here.
Darius made back about half the yardage that he went backwards, but blocking the back really it takes him back.
Isel hands it off inside, and the Mustangs up to the task defensively there.
Looks like a loss of a yard.
Small, the ball carrier, hit there in the line initially by number 59, Cody Christopher.
Elijah Guyan. Loss of 1 on the play.
Richter also, loss of 1 on the play for a 2nd and 11.
10.
So that's what you like to see, a win on first down for the Mustang defense.
They just need to stack some of those.
Isel will come out now with twin receivers to the near side, including Tyree. On the top of the screen is, I believe, Majeski. He'll go straight back, looks for the long pass. Tyree trying to get under, and he makes the catch. Wow. He's going to dance a little bit about the 50-yard line, so Dukeman could not knock it away, and Darius Tyree looked like AB that time, Rick.
Yeah, that was a 41-yard pass.
All the way into Mustang territory at the 48-yard line.
Jacob Dukeman had position on him and
did not get his hand on the ball.
He couldn't pick up that ball. I thought he played it pretty good all the way down until the very end.
So that field position that the Mustangs had is now erased. And Ringgold will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Their third possession, scored on the first two. Wide receivers, twin receivers, both sides. Look for the slant over the middle. That's too high. Intended for Tyree. Potential there for a interception by Gwynn, but he was playing the receiver instead of the ball. So 2nd down and 10. And
Eisel so far is 6 for 8 for 96 yards and 1 quarter in 14 minutes.
Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. That's not a good thing if you're the Ringgold Rams now, trying to control possession, which they have done exclusively here in the first half.
Primarily through the air.
Eisel, high snap, and he brings it down out. Middle screen. This is Small. Breaks through the initial defense and now breaks it out to the right side, to the 30. Sprinting towards the end zone, down to the 10. And he will be brought down inside the 5-yard line. Brendan Small showing great agility on the middle screen. And once he broke that initial wave of Mustang defense, he just broke it out to the right side and takes it from the 48-yard line down to the 1-yard line.
47-yard screen pass.
1st and goal again for the Ringgold Rams.
They had him. They couldn't tackle him. They couldn't bring him down.
They sure did. They had a chance to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage and just could not bring him down.
Well, the Mustangs were blitzing, and that was the perfect play against that blitz.
They might give Small an opportunity here. And we got a timeout called by Ringgold with 9:34 to go. I think that was an issue with the play clock. They were afraid the play clock was going to run out, so they called timeout at the 1-yard line. And the Mustangs backed up again, looking at a huge deficit here early in the second quarter.
That is their first.
Okay.
We'll step aside on the South Union Township Sports Network for this timeout.
Creditors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
Well, Ringgold's done talking about it, and I'm not sure there was a whole lot to talk about there, Rick.
No,
it's either going to be a quarterback sneak or Small up the middle.
Yeah, I don't think it's much of a mystery, and with Eisel still in there, it looks like it's probably going to be Small. They have a fullback in.
Has that lead blocker in Evan Higgs. And it will be Small, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, but does he push in? He does. So Small, the ball carrier for the touchdown. Hit there initially by number 5 for the Mustangs, Elijah Gwynn, but not able to bring him down, and the Ringgold Rams will add on at the 9:32 mark of the second.
Second touchdown for the night for him, for Brendan Small.
Brendan Small, the 1-yard run after the 47-yard screen pass set things up at the 1 as O'Connor will come on again. High snap, O'Connor kicks it through. 21-0, 9:32 to go here in the second quarter. The Mustangs trailing the Ringgold Rams. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network with Gary Frankhauser along with Rick Frank and Jerry Dupay on the camera.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
On to kick for the Rams once again is Jackson O'Connor. So the Mustangs have shown no ability to do anything offensively as of yet. And the Ringgold Rams have scored in a couple different ways, but have also hit on some long plays, one to Tyree and one to Majeski, and also the screen pass to Small. We got an offside here, so a free play for the Mustangs down the left side on a nice run is number 12 for the Mustangs, and that's Ryan Fike.
They'll probably turn
Ringgold
that down,
was
Gary.
Offside on the kick, but they'll probably decline that.
I would think. I don't know if you're going to get better field position than that. You have to give the Rams credit. They've really stepped up, and their defense has been the perfect scheme for the Mustangs offense. They've really shut them down.
So it's offside, and that'll be declined, I have to believe, as the Mustangs' best offensive play has been the kick return.
You're right. The only positive play for the Mustangs is a 10-yard run by Richter. Connor Basinger, unfortunately, 3 carries for negative 20 yards. And McClusack 1 for -2.
So the Mustangs looking at potential field position at the 45-yard line. Oh, Rick, I forgot about this. In high school, that is a dead ball foul. So what was really a good position for the Mustangs is now going to require a re-kick. Wow. When it goes bad, it goes bad.
Yeah, all the forces are working against them.
Unbelievable. So I would imagine that the official should have blown that dead, though. As soon as there was an offside, they shouldn't have let the play happen. So now
he may have forgotten about that rule.
Maybe. But that was a huge break against the Mustangs again. Now O'Connor will tee it up at the 35, but let's see how this result ends up with the Mustangs set up at the 45-yard line. But now the Rams get the re-kick.
For the Rams, these for the Mustangs, McClusack, Richter, and Fike.
Fike, McClusack, and Richter deep for the Mustangs. And this will be McClusack at about the 20 now. Up the middle to the 30, 40, 45, and now the Mustangs will get better field position.
Wow.
So
no flags?
No flags as they are into Ringgold territory at the 43-yard line. So a 38-yard return from the 20 all the way into Ringgold territory at the 43-yard line, Rick.
Well, let's see how they're going to change it up, because the plays that they were calling weren't working.
3 receivers to the left,
Might need
wing
some
and 2
trickeration.
wideouts. Basinger has McClusack in motion, inside handoff to Petrus, and he's going to drive inside the 40 to about the 39, so good 4-yard plunge by Petrus. Positive play for the Mustang offense. 2nd down and 6.
Gain of 4 on the play. Brings up
Inside 9 minutes to go here in the second. Just the Mustangs' 3rd possession of the half. Best field position that they've been able to establish after the nice run back by Jake McClusack. Basinger calling signals. Looks like a blitz for Ringgold. This will be Basinger up the middle now. Nice play there as he pulled it out of McClusack's stomach and takes it inside the 35 to about the 34.5, but I think he's going to be just short of the first down. They're going to mark it at the 39, so 3rd and 1. Full out blitz there by Ringgold, and Basinger was able to slip by that first wave of defense, gain a nice 5-yard pickup. 3rd and 1.
on the play, brings up 3rd and 1 for the Mustangs.
Klusak again, and he pulls the Ringgold Rams off. Now Basinger's been able to do that several times this year, Rick, and that's a nice opportunity for a hard count, and that's going to be a first down for the Mustangs.
First down of the game. Yeah, up in Indiana, Gary, if you remember, Connor did use that hard count very effectively, and we probably got 3 offsides out of that game.
He pulled at least 5 Ringgold Rams offside on that one.
Linebackers
inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, trailing 21-0 at 7:55 to go here in the second. Mustangs trying to get something on the board before halftime. Petrus inside, and he's going to again take tacklers to about the 26-yard line, so give him close to 4 yards on that play. So Mustangs going to a little bit of a change up with power run by Petrus on first down.
I bet there wasn't many more people happy to see that first down than the Mustangs defense.
And James Benny.
Unfortunately, though, a lot of these guys do go both ways. So.
Oh, yeah. Especially the linemen.
Gain of 3 on the play.
It looks like
for the Mustangs. From around 26.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 26-yard line. Petrus again inside, tries to go on the left side this time, and he's going to drag more Ringgold Rams close to another first down at the 20, inside the 20. And
just short of the first down.
Nice 6-yard run there. Another 3rd and 1 coming up for the Mustangs.
Well, the only quarterback behind the center, Gary, has been Connor Basinger, so it looks like that there's a little change of philosophy here in quarterback.
Well, got to like
from
that
with
games, Edenfield and Basinger on the field at the same time. And Edenfield looks like he's going to line up at tight end most of the night. 3rd and 1. Looks like a blitz coming for Ringgold, and it's going to be Basinger on the keep. It goes to the left side, now trying to beat defenders down near the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Nice run there by Basinger, finally brought down there by number 3, James Minnie. But
about a 10-yard pickup there.
10-yard pickup down to the, well, make it 9, down to the 11-yard line. So 1st and 10, they can make a first down inside the 1.
Looks like the play calling is going back to what got them wins in the first 2 games.
Now Basinger with 3 receivers to the right, including the wingback McClusack. Ringgold look like they're going to blitz on every down, and Petrus now will take it inside and nowhere to go this time, as 4 or 5 Ringgold Rams there on the tackle, led by number 16.
Looks like he even picked up a yard.
Caleb Brown, but he'll give him one.
Austin Wagner.
Because he hit a wall of Rams there.
No gain on the play. It'll be
second and 10 from the 11. Give him about a half a yard on that. Ringgold bringing a blitz on every down the last 4 or 5 plays. And that brings them offside again, and that's going to be a dead ball. I mean, it might be against the Mustangs. Mustangs might have moved. When you see that flag thrown on the offensive side of the ball, you can almost guarantee that it's an offensive penalty.
Nope, they're marching.
No, they are. That's good.
Against the Rams.
You know, one advantage of that blitz for the Mustangs is if they can, you know, if Connor can get past that first line, there really isn't anybody until the defensive backs to stop him.
And he has enough athletic ability to make some of them miss.
He stiff-armed one and got a couple extra yards.
Second and 5 now from the Ram 6. Basinger. Now sweep around the right side. This is Fike, and he is going to be met at the 6, but takes it inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Ryan Fike on the run, gain of 2.
Ryan Fike, your ball.
Third down and 2.
That's about 6 or 7, 8 positive plays in a row, Gary. They seem to be, the previous scheme seems to be working pretty well for him. And again, Connor's making good decisions with the ball. That's
Ringgold stacks the defense inside. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 2, I'm sorry. McClusack in motion. Now Basinger looks to change the play. 3 seconds ago, and the Mustangs are going to call timeout. 3 seconds on the play clock as the Mustangs were changing the play at the line. They'll call timeout, give us a chance to take a timeout. With 4:10 to go here in the second, it's still 21-0 Ringgold, but the Mustangs threatening at the 3. We'll be back on the South Union Township Sports Network.
South Union Township invites you to Brunch on the Bridge, prepared by Chef Joe Carey, on the Sheepskin Trail in South Union Township at Hutchinson Park on Stadium Drive. Sunday, October the 8th, from 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. The buffet includes French toast, omelets, ham, potatoes, fruit salad, sweet rolls, coffee, and juice. The cost is just $15 per person, and kids 5 and under eat free. This is sponsored by the Friends of the Sheepskin Trail, with the proceeds benefiting the Sheepskin Trail Match Fund. For tickets or more information, contact the South Union Township office at 724-438-5480. That's 724-438-5480.
Here we go. Big play for the Mustangs, facing a 3rd and 2 at the Ringgold 3-yard line. Mustangs trying to maintain this drive, starting it in Ringgold territory, close to the 40-yard line. Basinger with Petrus behind him, sends McClusack in motion, and there's a
busted play.
Broken play, but Basinger gets it into the end zone. Looked like he wanted to hand it off to Petrus, but they ran into each other, and the hole opened up right across from the center's left side, and Basinger takes it in for the 3-yard touchdown run with 4:06 to go. So the Mustangs get on the board. And on for the extra point for the Mustangs is Alec McClay out of the Edenfield hold.
He's got a pretty good leg.
Good snap. And now Edenfield lost it. He'll throw it into the end zone. So a fumble on the snap results in no opportunity for McClay to put his foot on it. So the extra point is no good. So that will leave the score 21-6 with 4:06 to go here in the second. We'll be back on the South Union Township Sports Network.
The Fayette Furnace Company Established in 1920 with over 100 years of combined experience in the industry. They are employee-owned and operated. They take pride in solving your home heating and air conditioning needs. They are the area's oldest and most reliable HVAC contractor. They specialize in creating quality energy-saving comfort for your home by using the most advanced technology in the industry. Along with the Carrier Corporation, Fayette Furnace can put together a system to improve your comfort, save you money on energy consumption, and improve any deficiencies in your existing system. They specialize in green speed inverter technology and split systems, ductless split units, zoning, radiant heat, boilers, hot water tanks, tankless water heaters, and many more applications. Call the Fayette Furnace Company today at 724-438-5400. That's 724-438-5400. Ask for Mike to schedule a free consultation.
We are back with the Mustangs able to complete an offensive drive and score with 4:06 to go. So now Ringgold will get another opportunity as Chad Petrus will tee it up for the Mustangs.
How long was the offense on the field there, Gary?
Kicking off for the Mustangs.
3-yard run, and there's a attempt at an onside kick, and the Mustangs will not be successful on the Mustang at the 42-yard line, trying the onside kick after the Mustangs were successful on a 42-yard drive on a long return by McClusack, set the Mustangs up in Ringgold territory. Finally, the Mustangs offense scoring on a 3-yard run by Connor Basinger. Kick was no good on a fumbled snap, so it's 21-6 with 4:05 to go here in the second. But now Ringgold set up at the 42-yard line after the failed onside kick. Geisel in the shotgun. I'm sorry, that
was a direct snap.
Direct snap to Tyree, and he is brought down nicely there by number 4 for the Mustangs, DeSalle. Sprinting in there from his linebacker position, so he's going to lose
8 on the play.
8.
Brings up 2nd and 18.
2nd and 18, so look for the Rams to air it out here, either Majeski or Tyree.
Well, you can't blame on the kickoff, Gary. You can't blame Coach Just for not wanting to kick it to Darius Tyree.
That's for sure. You might as well try that onside kick, trailing 21-6. Really nothing to lose. Now Majeski is wide to the right. Press coverage out there on the right side, and he's just going to try to streak down the right side, and there's a loft up to the middle, and it is knocked down nicely this time. Back there defensively was
great defense by Elijah.
And also Sean Richter.
That ball was hung out there, really, Gary. It was kind of a floater.
That's the kind you hope to intercept, but with the way the Mustangs are playing, you're happy with the knockdown now. 3rd and 18.
It was good pass defense by right down the middle of the field.
So another big 3rd down for the Mustangs. 3rd and long. See if they can get off the field. Ringgold has scored on every possession so far. Clock stopped at 3:12 to go here in the second. Again, press coverage. Back goes Geisel, looking. Now to pass out here to the side and unable to pull it in. Wow.
That was Max.
Had it on
Majeski.
his hands. Is that Majeski?
That was Majeski.
Usually you'll see him come down with that one, so that's going to bring up 4th and 18. That would have been a first down at about the Mustang 46-yard line.
Well, Eisel's already 6 for 11 for 143 yards.
3 big ones. So on to punt, O'Connor. Mustangs load up for the block, and they do not get it. And that's going to be a big bounce for the Rams inside the 30 to the 25. And from the 34-yard line, still rolling down to the 21. So
That was an additional 20 yards there on that roll.
Absolutely.
Kick is down.
Well, that was the first punt
That's
for the
about
Rams.
a 48-yard punt.
10 for the Mustangs. From their own 22.
So the Mustangs will be backed up to the 22-yard line with 2:54 to go. Got to be encouraged a little bit with the Mustangs' offensive ability to move the ball last time.
Well, Connor picked up 18 yards rushing, so he's up to -2 yards from those 3 bad runs.
So Basinger, ball's on the ground. And can the Mustangs get back on it? Let's see. The snap was rolled back to Basinger, but I think he got back on it. What do we got? Second down. So give Connor
very fortunate.
A lot of credit to get back on that, as that ball just rolled back to him. He thought it went behind him, turned around, but
recovered by Basinger.
Looked like a recovery there by Lightsey, number 55. So give him credit for keeping the Mustangs on the field offensively, but now facing a 2nd and 14.
2nd and 14 for the Mustangs.
Balled back at the 18-yard line. Fake inside, and now Basinger will keep it, and he's only going to get about a yard. Inside there on defense for Ringgold was, let me see,
Ringgold. That is their second.
number 57.
Basinger, your ball carrier.
And that is Jake Meyer. So Ringgold will take a timeout with the Mustangs backed up, 2nd and 14, 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And we'll get another opportunity to hear from our sponsors, Gary Frankhauser, Rick Frank alongside on the South Union Township Sports Network.
You don't have to travel to Pittsburgh to get good representation. We've been doing it since 1976. We've been successful. We can help you right here at home.
We know the nuances of the legal system in Uniontown and Fayette County. We know the nuances of the legal system in Waynesburg and in Washington.
We know the system. We know where the courthouse is, and we know where to park. And at our office, you can park for free.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back as the Mustangs facing a 3rd down and 14 after the fumbled snap on 1st down. Ringgold trying to get their hands back on the ball with approximately 2 minutes to go here in the first half, as Basinger will now have double tight end formation. Goes straight back, under pressure, over the middle. McClusack with the catch, has room. Sprints down the left side. 1st down, Mustangs. Nice pass there by Connor Basinger, and McClusack with the drag across the middle. Once he had the ball in his hands, just used his speed to sprint out past the 36-yard line, 38-yard line.
23-yard pass.
Big 1st down for the Mustangs to keep Ringgold on the defensive side of the ball with 1:54 to go.
That was about a 5-yard pass and about 18 yards run after catch.
Out of bounds, stops the clock with 1:54 to go. Now Basinger got to be looking to try to get on the board, and that one will be dropped. That's an incomplete pass, as McClusack started to run with that one before he had it, Rick.
Yeah, it was behind him a little bit, and that was a hard catch to make while you're running. Fortunately for the Mustangs, it was a forward pass. It was close to being a lateral, though.
For the Mustangs. From their own 30.
Connor could have got that out in front of him. It probably would have been a catch and a big gain.
The Mustangs could get themselves out closer to midfield. You might see Edenfield come in because he has the bigger arm to throw it deep. Minute 50 now to go. 2nd and 10. Ringgold brings the blitz again, and this is Basinger. Gets through to the first wave again, and now he's going to be brought down at about the 44, make it the 43-yard line, gain of 5.
Basinger, your ball carrier.
If he would have been able to get by that defender right there, Rick, he had clear sailing.
He did have clear sailing, and again, there's a case where the Rams blitzed, and Connor was able to get past that first wave of linemen and linebackers and get into the secondary.
3rd and 5.
From their own 43.
Basinger now trying to keep the Mustangs offense moving. Fakes inside. No, he hands it to Fike, and Fike now breaks a tackle out over the 50 to the 48. Nice hard run there by Fike. Had to be brought down by Tyree. Timeout Mustangs now with 1:02 to go. And this is where you'll see Edenfield, I think, come into the game, possibly a quarterback with the stronger arm.
Nice 7-yard pickup there by Fike, and
nice
you got
run
a
there.
couple extra yards after to get the first down.
Encouraging second half of the second quarter for the Mustangs. At about 1:02 to go. Coach Just now sends out the Mustang offense with Edenfield at quarterback.
There it is. Well, that ought to be a signal that they're going to go downfield with 1 minute to go.
Got
and
Dukeman.
if it's incomplete, it can stop the clock.
Absolutely. So Dukeman is they do have one timeout left, I believe.
They do.
Got Dukeman to the near side. I believe that's Fike at the top.
Looks like they have some blockers that are going to stay back for Ian.
Ringgold will rush 6. Gets it out in the flat now. They need to get out of bounds. Not good fundamentals there by Dominic Richter. Made the catch and really no gain. Give him 1 yard on the pass and catch, but that got to get out of bounds in that situation.
Good head by Lever, keeping him in bounds.
Now here to the outside. Dukeman has it go through his hands.
He needs to make that catch.
He is open at the 38-yard line. Would have been a first down for the Mustangs.
Incomplete.
And he just saw it go right through his hands and almost into the waiting hands of the defender for Ringgold, C.J. Franks. Back again now, 3rd and 9. 2 stop clocks. Well, I'm sorry, the clock did not stop on the first reception. So with 39 seconds, Mustangs try to go deep. Edenfield over the middle, and that's skips in incomplete, intended for McClusack. Tough throw there for Edenfield, rolling to his left, trying to throw against his body back to the inside, and McClusack had no chance to make that catch. So the clock stops now with 35 seconds.
Brings up 4th and 9 for the Mustangs.
And deep for the Ringgold Rams is Tyree. You would think Dukeman will be directed to kick this out of bounds, Rick.
I'm sure.
And there it is to the right side, and Tyree's going to call a fair catch, and it's on the turf. Mustangs with the opportunity. Can they get on it? I believe they did. They did at the...
What a break.
17-yard line. Tyree with the fumbled punt recovery by the Mustangs. Let's see who got on that. Jared, did you pick that up? Who was it that got on it?
1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Big break. So while the breaks were going the other way for the Mustangs.
Did not see who actually got on that, but now the Mustangs are set up at the 12-yard line, Rick.
Well, I'm sure when Jerry gets back, he'll zoom in and be able to pick that up, but who had it? There was just a mass of kids down there.
Huge opportunity here for the Mustangs. Put something up on the board with 27 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Looks like we have Basinger back in.
McClusack sprinting wide left. Basinger rolling. Needs to get rid of it. Does, and throws it into the end zone. And now we have a flag and then maybe he was across the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Well, he really didn't need to throw it, Gary. He was right at the sideline.
He could have had gained some ground and
pass McClusack.
Holding in the middle.
Maybe a holding call. Let's see.
That's what Jerry said.
We got 4 officials talking about it, so doesn't look like they're real sure. Let's see what the call is. That would be a crusher for the Mustangs at the 13-yard line, but only took, 6 seconds on the play. Illegal forward pass against the Mustangs. That's going to be a loss of down, huge. And that's, I think, a 10-yard penalty.
Throwing the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. And a loss of down.
Let's see how far they mark that back. It was at the 13 when it started. And it's going to be second down, and that's a 5-yard penalty, so it comes out to the 16. So now, with 21 seconds to go, Mustangs, the beneficiary of a huge fumble recovery deep in Ringgold territory, looking to try to capitalize, facing a 2nd and 15. Look for Ringgold to bring blitz here. Pressure has been their tool against the Mustang pass game, and they are bringing 8. Over the middle now, behind the receiver, slanting inside there was Fike. It potentially could have been a roughing the passer there, Rick.
Yeah,
late hit.
Connor had to get rid of that ball fast. It was behind the receiver, but he really didn't have any time to step into it or think about it. He had to get rid of it.
So now the Mustangs may need to at least look to gain some yardage to give McClay an opportunity at a field goal.
I don't think McClay's had an attempt this year, has he?
Now he draws a defense off again, so that's a easy 5 for the Mustangs. Ringgold defense very anxious. So now to the 11-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. From the Ram 12.
Big 3rd and 10.
3rd and 9. Basinger has Dukeman wide to the right. He's going to roll right. Looking. Now he has open space. He can run it, but gets it inside, and that's Dukeman in for the touchdown. Wow! Basinger with a bullet right at the flag. It was a little bit behind Dukeman, but he reached back and made the catch right at the pylon, in for the Mustang touchdown. Wow.
I thought he was going to run that ball out of bounds, Gary.
13 seconds to go, and the Mustangs cut the lead now to 21-12. In for the kick again is McClay. And let's see if they can complete the snap and the extra point this time. You might see a fake with that first one being dropped, and now we have a penalty. That's a dead ball. Mustangs cutting the lead now to 21-12 with 13 seconds to go. That was an 11-yard pass from Basinger to Dukeman. And that's going to push the ball closer to the goal line. So the Mustangs may think about it going for 2 here, but doesn't look like it, as Edenfield is setting up the tee for McClay with 13 seconds to go. High snap, McClay gets it down this time. Edenfield gets it down, and McClay drills it through. So with 13 seconds to go here in the second quarter, the Mustangs strike for another touchdown to cut the lead now to 21-13. The beneficiary of a fumbled punt by Darius Tyree set the Mustangs up at the 13-yard line. Went backwards on an illegal pass, but with a 3rd and 9, it was Basinger rolling to his right, finding Dukeman just by the pylon, had to reach behind himself, make the catch, fall into the end zone. Kick was good, so now the Mustangs back in this one, 21-13, with 13 seconds to go in the half. Petrus now teeing it up with 13 seconds to go. And there's going to be the squib, and falling on it at about the 40-yard line there for the Ringgold Rams was number 22, Richard Massey. And it's not over yet, Rick. It's not halftime yet.
Well, the Mustangs found some lightning here in the second half of the second quarter. It's been a lot of fun to watch the Mustangs. I use the word traction to move the chains and have some successful plays.
So now coming in for Ringgold, we've got a stop in action here. Must have been a timeout called by the Mustangs, I believe, and it was. So we'll step aside quickly here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Coach Just wants to make sure his defense is set up to stop the attempts here by Ringgold with 12 seconds to go.
Sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahaloff, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahaloff, and White, just give them a call.
Here we go, Mustangs in the prevent defense now, and look for Ringgold to air it out here with 12 seconds to go. Geisel in at quarterback. Geisel, he's going to look for the now draw play to Small, and he's going to get out of bounds at about the 50 with 6 seconds to go, so closer opportunity for them to air it out. So that's a 9-yard run by Brendan Small to add to his first half statistics.
I had all the statistics added up already, Gary, for I didn't think they were going to get the ball.
Now 6 seconds. This probably will be the last play of the half. Might be a little trickeration here, Rick.
Yeah,
look for it.
I'm surprised the defensive backs that are back there are only 15 yards back. I would go much further.
Geisel now, he's going to be sacked back at the 45-yard line.
And
good defense there by the Mustangs to end the first half. Dropped down there by Ryan Richter as well as Chet DeSalle. And that will do it for the first half. Our fast halftime score, Ringgold 21, Laurel Highlands 13. We'll be back with halftime activities and statistics here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
34.
South Union Township invites you to Brunch on the Bridge, prepared by Chef Joe Carey, on the Sheepskin Trail in South Union Township at Hutchinson Park on Stadium Drive. Sunday, October the 8th, from 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. The buffet includes French toast, omelets, ham, potatoes, fruit salad, sweet rolls, coffee, and juice. The cost is just $15 per person, and kids 5 and under eat free. This is sponsored by the Friends of the Sheepskin Trail, with the proceeds benefiting the Sheepskin Trail Match Fund. For tickets or more information, contact the South Union Township office at 724-438-5480. That's 724-438-5480.
Smith, Lewis & Chess, financial services in Uniontown, would like to wish the Laurel Highlands football team and their coaches good luck this football season.
Welcome back to Joe Montana Stadium as the Mustang Band completes their halftime show, and the Ringgold Rams band about to wow this crowd, large crowd here at Monongahela. And let's look at some first half stacks with the score 21-13. Ringgold scoring on their first 3 possessions: a 3-yard run by Small, a 6-yard pass received by Macheski, and a 3-yard run by Small, a 1-yard run, made it 21-0. And the Mustangs coming back with 2 scores late in the second. 4:06 to go was Basinger on a 3-yard run, and just 13 seconds to go, an 11-yard pass by Basinger to Jacob Dukeman on a 3rd and 9 brought the Mustangs to within 1 possession at 21-13. And Rick, all of the Mustang yards on those last 2 possessions, but they were effective. So how's it look over there?
Well, I have to say this is the most unique set of stats I've had in the 11 years that we've been doing this. The Mustangs have, Connor Basinger was 2 for 4 for 35 yards in the air, and Ian Edenfield was 0 for 3 for 0 yards. So 35 total yards passing. Rushing, Chad Petrich 5 carries for 19 yards. Richter 1 carry for 10 yards. And Fike 2 carries for 10 yards. Receiving, the big play was the Dukeman, the 12-yard pass from Jacob Dukeman. 37 yards in the air, 72 total yards. Of course, they had a lot of negative plays in the beginning in the first quarter.
What did Basinger end up rushing there, Rick?
10 carries for, he's back to even.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was a lot of negative yards there. For the Rams, Isel was 8 for 12 for 143 yards. He had 2 carries for 6 yards in the air, on the ground. Brandon Small, 9 carries for 27 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had a 47-yard reception. And Darius Tyree, 2 runs for 14 yards. 143 yards in the air, 48 yards on the ground for them, 191 yards total. So the Mustangs being down 1 touchdown, it was a totally different team the middle of the second quarter.
We saw all those yards by the Ringgold Rams on their first 3 possessions. And the Mustang defense is going to have to try to maintain that intensity here as we go into the second half and limit the possession time by the Ringgold Rams and try to get themselves on that offensive side. If they can stay on the field and prevent those third down opportunities by Ringgold from being successful, that will at least give them some opportunities offensively to keep this thing close and maybe pull it out at the end.
Well, let's see. They have some momentum. It's homecoming here, Gary, and the crowd's packed. And I want to say congratulations to Cassia Rowe Lawrence, who's homecoming queen. I have to say, the food booths down at the gate are incredible. It's pretty good food down there tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm going to try to get something here before halftime ends, and we'll be back with second half action. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network.
And now for the start of the second half. O'Connor to kick for the
Welcome.
Beat for the Mustangs.
Well,
Bluestack, Richter, and Fike.
here we go. On the turf. Kickoff to Laurel Highlands on the turf, and it could result in some bad field position. So going back there trying to pick it up for the Mustangs was Dominic Richter, as O'Connor's kick goes all the way inside the 10-yard line. He is unable to bring it out. So Mustangs will be pushed back deep in their own territory at about the 9-yard line. Not the start we wanted for the second half, Rick.
No, it didn't look like he looked it into his hands. And he started running before he had the ball in his hands. So
faced now with the long field challenge, the Mustangs will come out with Connor Basinger in the pistol, Petrus to his left, 2 receivers to the left, wing back to his right is McClusack. Fakes it inside, and Basinger now breaks it loose and gets some much-needed running room all the way out close to the 20. That's going to be a Mustang first down.
Waving him on.
11-yard run for Connor Basinger. Puts him on the positive side of the ledger there, Rick.
Yeah, he was 10 carries for 0 yards, so.
He did have some positive yards on that 1 touchdown drive for the Mustangs, but with the negatives in the first 3 possessions, kind of negated that. So Basinger now has tight end right, swing pass out to the left, and that's a fumble. No, they're calling it an incomplete pass. Late whistle intended out there for McClusack. Man, that's a dangerous play if you don't get that ball moving forward. So now 2nd down and 10. Incomplete pass intended for McClusack. 2nd and 10.
Well, that linebacker, I didn't get his number, had it all the way.
It might have been Majeski out there to the right.
And slammed McClusack. It probably would have been a loss.
He had it deciphered, no doubt. And this is going to be a direct snap now. Basinger spin move, getting off some tacklers outside the 30-yard line and out of bounds at about the 32, maybe 33-yard line. 13, give him 12 yards on the carry. Another first down run by Connor Basinger.
Well, he had the receiver out wide, and he went to pitch it, faked the pitch, and tucked it down, and the corner bought on the pitch.
Some new wrinkles in the offensive playbook here for Coach Just.
Not a moment too soon. Laurel Highlands is coming back. This is a nice thing to see.
This is Petrus now dragging tacklers out past the 35 to the 36. It'll give him 4.5 on first down. Like to see the Mustangs with some ball possession here. 2nd down and 5.
Traditionally, the Mustangs have not been a good comeback team, but they seem to be doing a good job tonight.
We welcome in the listeners from WMBS. The Mustangs on their first possession here of the second half, taking the opening kick all the way back at the 9-yard line, but now have it out past the 40. Down the right side, it's Richter, and he will run ahead again for another Mustang first down out near the 47-yard line on a 2nd and 5 jaunt. That was number 8, Dominic Richter, on the jet sweep right. Outran the Ringgold defense, and the Mustangs are set up 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. So the Mustangs now looking to try to have a little ball control. 10:29 on a stop clock here in the 3rd as the play was run out of bounds. Basinger in the pistol, hands off inside to Petrus, and he rolls forward for another win on first down of about 5 yards. Tackled there by number 74 for Ringgold. That's Alex Grossi. But another nice pickup on first down makes it 2nd down and 5.
Well, having Connor Basinger at quarterback, having an athlete like Ian Edenfield off the field doesn't make sense. If you're not going to play,
he's playing tight end.
No, that's what I mean. It's good to have him on that. He's a great, incredible athlete.
Ringgold looking to bring corners blitz, and now Basinger will go up the middle, trying to bounce off tacklers, and he's not going to get much on this one as Ringgold is stern in the hole. A little extracurricular activity there as the ball was stripped away from Basinger really late. Evan Higgs on the tackle for.
I think the ball was snapped a little early there. McClusack hadn't cleared Basinger quite yet, and
kind of missed the timing.
So I don't think Connor got a clean shot at that hole. I don't think the hole had a chance to develop yet.
So 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs inside Ringgold territory at the 47-yard line. Make it the 48. Basinger straight back, has some time, has McClusack on that drag pattern, and he's at the 40, 35, inside the 30, ball's on the turf. Wow.
And the ball stays inbounds for Ringgold. He was going for the sidelines and
they just
tried to get a couple extra yards on that.
Looked like Tyree stripped it right out of his hand, so a positive play for the Mustangs turns negative in a hurry, as the Mustangs would have had another first down inside the Ringgold Ram 30-yard line, but the ball just stripped out of McClusack's hands as he was headed to the sideline, and the ball just died right there on the sideline, as Rick said, inbounds for the Ringgold Rams to fall on it.
The two positive parts of that were, number one, Connor had a lot of time. The line did a great job of keeping the defensive line out of his face, and that the pass was right on the money, and Jacob was off to the races. But
3-minute possession by the Mustang is now turned away by the turnover, and now trying to get outside, and he will not be able to do it. He's out of bounds. We don't need some extracurricular activity there, as he was drugged down about 5 yards out of bounds. Ball carrier there by Bo Haynes, who came in to start quarterback for Ringgold, and that's going to be a loss of about 1 on the play.
And he goes back out, so they're going to go back to ISIL.
2nd and 11 from their own 28. Mustang defense needs to try to flip it back again.
Good pursuit job out to the left side on the Mustang defense, and there was some coverage downfield, so that was kind of a coverage loss there, Gary.
Richter out here on the right side, instrumental in that pursuit. Now, pass out here to Tyree. He's going to try to make people miss and change the field. Sprints around the right side, but he's going to be tackled in the backfield for a loss. The Mustang defense, led by Edenfield there, all the way back to the 25. So the screen pass left, and Tyree saw he had nothing, so he tried to change the field and go all the way back around to the right side, but Edenfield was there waiting, and he's going to lose 3 more, so it's 3rd down and 14.
Well, I think Darius thought he was going to fake out Ian, but he was too close to Ian, and Ian just
dropped him.
Just like on a wrestling mat.
3rd and 14. Big defensive play here early in the 3rd quarter for the Mustangs. After turning the ball over, now they bring the blitz, pass out here to Majeski, and a good open field tackle will have him short of the first down. Dukeman on the tackle for the Mustangs at the 35-yard line. So gain of about 10 on the play, but that's not going to be enough. Going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And on to punt for Ringgold will be Jackson O'Connor. Going back deep, I'm sorry, Rick, Sean Richter.
That's okay. A lot of energy on that Laurel Highlands sideline now. They gave him some energy that they didn't have in the first quarter.
Mustangs loading up at the line. Looks like they may be going for the block. Have 9 men on the defensive side, and it gets it away. And this will be Richter at the 35. And hit immediately and brought down at about the 38-yard line. Nice coverage there by the Rams coverage team, James Minnie. So the Mustangs will once again be on the offensive side at the 38-yard line. And Basinger will bring out that offense to try to move the ball again with 7:25 to go here in the 3rd. Still 21-13, Mustangs trailing. Second opportunity of the second half. As Petrus to his right brings Dukeman wide to the right. Fike up on top of the screen, wide left. In motion and fake. Now back, and Connor will pull it down and try to make players miss, and he does. He's down the left sideline, inside Ringgold territory, past the 50, inside the 45, and that will be about an 18-yard run on a broken play by Connor Basinger. Went back, was looking to the left side to pass, but once he did not have a receiver, made the on-rushing Ringgold Rams miss, and there was green field down that left side. So a first down for the Mustangs at the 41-yard line now.
Well, he looked like he juked out Majeski on the right side there, Gary, and he did the smart thing and got out of bounds instead of.
Here's Basinger again after the fake inside to Petrus this time into the defensive backfield for the Ringgold Rams. Tackle there made by Brendan Small.
Like he picked up about 6. That gives Connor a total of 49 yards on 15 carries.
Second down. Clock ticking under 6:40 to go here now in the third.
It's amazing what some confidence will give you, Gary. Change the game for Laurel Highlands.
Ringgold bringing everyone on these plays, and Basinger will now make tacklers miss, and he will be inside the 35-yard line. Makes that initial tackler miss most of the time. Finally brought down there by number 55, and that's Austin Wagner. Giving him 3 on that one. It'll be third down and about 2.5.
Well, Alex Grossi thought that he had him. He had a hand on him, but Connor got away from him. The 6'2", 245 defensive lineman. Connor's elusive.
From the Ram, 32.
Ball sits at the 32-yard line. Third down and 2. Basinger. Pitch out now, has room, and down the left side, that's Petrus. Nice quick pitch left. We haven't seen that play all year. Petrus just lines up as the protector to Basinger to his left, and as Basinger receives the snap, Petrus just sprints out to the left side, and a pitch out to Petrus had wide open field down the left side for a gain of about 7, and that's another first down for the Mustangs at the 25-yard line, Rick.
That was kind of a shovel pass. That was a forward pass. If that had been dropped, it would have been incomplete. That was kind of a...
So not very risky.
Absolutely.
Inside 5:30 to go here now for the Mustangs driving in.
Timeout called by...
Well,
Connor.
no, I think there was a movement, and let's see who they're going to call first. I think Rams jumped first, but the Mustangs called timeout before the penalty. So that's their first timeout. It's going to give us a chance to step aside on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS, the Radcliffe and DeHaas Sports Night, and the MSA Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
How about it,
Okay, we're back with the South Union Township Sports Network, about to be joined by WMBS. Let's set the stage. 5:26 to go here in the third. Mustangs driving. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, trailing 21-13, trying to get it a little closer, and Petrus will get the call on 1st down off right tackle. WMBS joins us after the timeout. The first play for the Mustangs, a 2.5-yard run by Chad Petrus off right guard, with the clock running now at 5 minutes to go. Still 21-13. Mustangs with a 2nd down and 8. Ball sits at the Ringgold 23-yard line.
What a big change, Gary. The Rams have in the 10 minutes, they only have 19 total yards of offense.
Petrus now gets the fake, and this is Basinger, and he's going to be hit for a loss. So that time, nowhere to go for Connor Basinger. Hit initially there by number 44, Evan Higgs. And he had the responsibility that time for Connor Basinger, and he just did not lose his containment, loss of 3. So 3rd and 11. Ball pushed back out to the 26-yard line.
We say over and over again, big 3rd down. Seems like every 3rd down is a big 3rd down for the Mustangs.
Might be 4-down territory at this point inside Ringgold territory at the 26-yard line. So
McClay has a pretty good foot, but that's a long field. That'd be a 40-yard field goal.
They're bringing everybody. Here comes Ringgold. They have 9 guys rushing, just 3 guys in coverage. There's the pass, caught by Edenfield at the 10-yard line, rolls inside the 10 at about the 6-yard line. Nice pass there by Connor Basinger, just bought time, rolling to the right, and Edenfield just hooked himself up right there at the 10-yard line. Kind of a back shoulder throw there by Basinger, as the defender for Ringgold wasn't able to recover, and Edenfield pulls it in at the 9-yard line. At the 9-yard line, 1st and goal.
Great job by the offensive line. 2 linebackers broke free, but Connor drifted back and was able to find Edenfield on that route.
Here's Petrus right up the middle. No, I'm sorry, he was lead blocking for Basinger. Wow, he put it in his belly, pulled it back out, and then Petrus was the lead blocker as Basinger took it all the way to the 1.5-yard line.
8-yard pickup there.
Impressive blocking on the right side that time. So 2nd and goal from the 1. Clock rolling inside. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here on a fast-moving 3rd quarter. Dukeman will go wide left. Got Richter and McClusack in the slots. And this will be Petrus up the middle. Ball's in the air. We got a touchdown call first. So let's see what we got. The whistle has blown, and the right line judge is signaling touchdown. So the fumble occurred after he was across the line. That ball just popped straight up in the air, but Petrus was across the goal line.
I think that was pulled out of the air by number 58, Cameron Wise, and he started to run it out.
But the right line judge immediately signaled touchdown. So with 2:56 to go now here in the 3rd, the Mustangs will go for 2, trailing 21-19.
It's a ball game, Gary.
1-yard run by Chad Petrus. Basinger gets the call. Now we have an illegal procedure against Petrus. Just leaned forward. Thought he could go down in his stance, but he was moving. So illegal procedure will move it back 5 yards. And we're still at 2:56 here to go. The clock will not run on an extra point, but that'll add an extra 5 yards to this extra point attempt. Puts the ball out at the 8.
They're still going for 2, Gary.
5-yard penalty. We'll redo the extra point.
There's no kicker out there. He's ready. I'd look for another hard count, Gary, and try to draw him off sides and get that 5 yards back.
Successfully a couple times. Basinger straight back, has time, rolls left now, is pressured. Intended on the left side, but short of the goal line. Tried to hit his receiver there I think that was McClusack, it was, and it in and out of his hands. So Ringgold holds on to the 2-point advantage, 21-19 with 2:56 to go here in the third. And we'll step aside. Gary Frankhauser along with Rick Frank, Jerry Dupay on the South Union Township camera and the WMBS and MSA Sports Networks.
The Fayette Furnace Company, established in 1920 with over 100 years of combined experience in the industry. They are employee-owned and operated. They take pride in solving your home heating and air conditioning needs. They are the area's oldest and most reliable HVAC contractor. They specialize in creating quality energy-saving comfort for your home by using the most advanced technology in the industry. Along with the Carrier Corporation, Fayette Furnace can put together a system to improve your comfort, save you money on energy consumption, and improve any deficiencies in your existing system. They specialize in green speed inverter technology and split systems, ductless split units, zoning, radiant heat, boilers, hot water tanks, tankless water heaters, and many more applications. Call the Fayette Furnace Company today at 724-438-5400. That's 724-438-5400. Ask for Mike to schedule a free consultation.
McClay to kick off for the Mustangs. Deep for the Rams.
On to kick for the Mustangs now is Alec McClay. Petrus had been doing that duty. Ringgold deploys 3 deep, and there's a short pooch kick again. Ball falls at about the 25, rolls back to the 20, picked up there by the Rams, and the Mustangs will have good coverage on about a 4-yard return there by James Minnie. So that little wedge shot to about the 25-yard line works effectively for the Mustangs. Christopher on the stop for the Mustangs. And that will start the drive for the Ringgold Rams, 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Mustangs 65-yard drive, culminating in the 1-yard run by Chad Petrus. A couple nice third down plays by the Mustangs, keeping that drive alive. In for the Ringgold Rams at quarterback will be Eisel. And it's a cross buck and handoff to the right side, but the Mustang defense is there strongly on that side. Tackle there by Chury. Nice defense there, only a 1-yard pickup.
Nice defensive adjustments by the Mustangs, Gary. You have to say that really this game has just flipped.
And it is going to be a situation where they need to maintain this momentum and not allow Ringgold to get in that ball control offense that they sported in the first quarter. 2nd and 9. Geisel in the shotgun now. Mustangs bring pressure. Pass out to that's Tyree at about the 28-yard line. He steps out of bounds. So square out, short gain of about 4 yards. Sets up 3rd down and 5. Geisel's pass on the mark, but Tyree just stepped out of bounds after he made the reception. Ball sits now at the 29-yard line. Clock stopped at 2:05 to go here in the third.
That gives Eisel 157 yards.
Franks to the near side. Looks like Majeski wide to the right. Eisel straight back, has time. Now throws it long, looking for Geisel. I'm sorry, Majeski, and does he make the catch?
Was he in bounds?
It is a good catch to Majeski, and they just throw it up there and know he's going to go after it. So a pass from Eisel to Majeski, and we called that as he was wide right, and that goes into Mustang territory at the 47-yard line.
24-yard pass.
They just rely on him to go up and get it. Pretty good coverage there out there by the Mustangs. They were right on him, but he just goes higher than everyone else and makes that catch at the highest point of the pass.
He's
First
a tall
and
lad.
10.
He's 6'4".
47.
3 receivers now to this near side. Might see the Rams try another quick pop deep, and there he goes, back deep, and it's over to going to Geisel again. I'm sorry. Trying to hit Majeski, so Geisel drops straight back. It's Isel. I keep saying Geisel.
I think
Majeski was streaking it down the right side again, Rick.
Yeah, I think he turned inside, and Isel thought that he was going to go outside toward the sideline.
They tried to hit 2 in a row. Tried to roll that yo twice.
Pretty good defense over there by Connor Basinger.
1:54 to go now on a stop clock. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line of Laurel Highlands. Isel in the shotgun. Brings Tyree in motion. Fakes it. Now he'll go straight back again. Here's a middle screen. It worked well in the first half. This is small, but the Mustangs are there in force that time. Chury runs him down along with Richter and Richter. Richter and Richter Law Firm got him that time. Sean Richter and Ryan Richter along with Chury. So a gain of about 2.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the round.
3rd and 8 at the Mustang 45-yard line. Minute 20 to go here in the 3rd. Majeski just stands out there to the right side like he knows they're going to throw it to me. I might as well just stand out here. I know what the play is going to be.
Well, they were playing press coverage on him, but it looks like the corner's off the line now.
Back goes Isel, and there's this turn in, so the coverage late. There's a late fly. Now that's going to be a tack on for the Mustangs. So Majeski sees the back off coverage by the Mustangs, just goes down 5 yards, cuts it in, and Isel hits him on the run, takes it inside the 30 to the 29, and they're going to add on 15 for a late hit. He was definitely on the ground, and one of the Mustang defenders just came flying in, and definitely a late hit. Is going to cost the Mustangs 15.
Well, let's face it, Gary, when the Mustangs play press coverage on Majeski, they go deep. And when the cornerback drifts off, he squares it in, runs
and
a post
I believe
route.
that Isel probably has the ability to change that at the line of scrimmage.
And Majeski knows exactly what. They've played enough together. I'm sure that they know.
So that was actually half the distance to the goal. Sets the ball at the 15-yard line now. 1st and 10 at the 15 with 40 seconds to go here in the 3rd. Fake to Tyree, now Small up the middle, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. And a little
good stop
extra activity there by Small as he was throwing elbows coming out of the pack. Good tackle there by Sean Richter. No foul called there, but could have been.
Things are getting a little chippy down there, Gary.
Richter made a nice hit right at the 15, and it was about a half-yard gain. And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter as Ringgold will let the clock run out. They'll be facing a 2nd down and 9 at the 14, leading 21-19 over the Mustangs. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS, the MSA Sports Network on a Radcliffe and DeHaas Sports Night.
Mustangs of Laurel Highlands 19.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back on both the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS. This game is going to be televised on the South Union Township Sports Network Sunday at 6 o'clock and Tuesday at 7 o'clock. It'll be on YouTube, South Union Television, Monday afternoon or evening, so you can pick it up on any of those times and dates to rewatch this game.
We got a ball game here.
Yep, 21-19, and here's Majeski again, standing out here to the right side, does not go in the huddle. 2nd down and 9, 21-19. Ringgold on top as Isel will be in the shotgun. Straight back. There's the fade to Tyree, and does he catch it? What's the call?
Incomplete
pass. So very close there to being face guarding.
Good
defender for the Mustangs did not really play the ball, but I think he got a piece of it. So that was Dominic Richter, I believe, on the coverage out there. So that brings up 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9 for the Rams.
Nice to see the Mustangs make a comeback. They haven't done that in a long time.
Majeski just kind of walks over to the coach and gets to play himself, and now he'll just come out here to the right side. Isel will be in the shotgun, has Small to his right side. One-on-one coverage out here on Majeski. Not what you're looking for as Isel rolls, and that's going to be a short pass. No chance for that catch to be made as pressure was being provided by Edenfield on Isel all the way back at the 30-yard line. Isel had no chance to set his feet and make a throw there.
No, he was running for his life, and he was outside of the tackle box and threw it in the dirt, or in the turf, I guess you'd call it.
So the Ringgold Rams will bring on their field goal team. Jackson O'Connor, strong leg. Ball sits at the 14-yard line.
It's a 31-yard field goal.
They're going to set it up at the 21, so it's a 31-yard field goal attempt now by Jackson O'Connor, the senior left footer. Mustangs need to hold their position, not go offside here. Ball's down, the kick is up, and it looks like it's short, and it is. Just did not get all of that one, and it fell right underneath the crossbar, about a yard short of being good. So the Mustangs turn away the Ringgold threat with 11:49 to go here in the third. Now still trail only by 2.
Well, that snap was high, Gary, and I don't know if he got it down in time. The kicker starts moving when the
he did not have
snapped.
His plant foot was there, and he really didn't get anything on that kick.
Big turnover for the Mustangs.
That's exactly what it was, a turnover at the 20-yard line. Ringgold will set up 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and the Mustang defense a little bit surprised at the play calling by Ringgold down there in the red zone. Now the Mustangs come out in double tight end. Basinger with 3 players to the left, and he's going to hand it off to Petrus on the left side, and the Mustangs
look at all those
drive
yards
ahead. Nice yardage by Petrus, and good blocking on the left side of that line by the Mustangs as he pulls it out for a 6-yard gain out to the 26-yard line. Wagner in there on the tackle for the Rams, but 2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs.
5 on the play, brings up 2nd and 5.
Give credit to the left side of that Mustang offensive line. Here's that pitch out now to Petrus, and he's going to go ahead past the 30-yard line and gets that 1st down. Play worked well on the last drive, and you're right, Rick, that is a shovel pass. Petrus just sets up to the left side and kind of gets himself out around the containment of the defense, and Basinger flips that underhand, kind of like an option pitch, but it's definitely a forward pass.
From their own 31.
1st and 10 at the 31. Inside handoff again to Petrus, and he's going to fall over defenders all the way out to the 38-yard line. Tripped up there finally by number 23, Brendan Small, but that's going to be about another 6-yard pickup on 1st down out to the 37-yard line.
Chad had 19 yards rushing in the first half, and he has 27 yards in the second half for a total of 46 yards.
Now you have Ringgold Ram defenders with their hands on their hips, maybe showing a little fatigue as the Mustangs are playing ball control. They're going to bring pressure every time. And this time it's going to be around the left side. Fike's going to turn it up, and he's going to be hit hard at about the 39-yard line. So nice gainer there by number 12 for the Mustangs, Ryan Fike, and he gets it to the 39. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Tyree and Small on the tackle for Ringgold.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Again, I said it earlier, nice offensive and defensive adjustments by Coach Justin and his coaches.
So now Petrus to the right side of Basinger. 4 down linemen. And here's a fake by Basinger. He has room to his left. Gets it upfield, but a nice open field tackle that time. Saves the first down, and Basinger might be hurt. Tyree just came low and took his legs out, and Basinger is in pain.
Official timeout.
Official timeout for the injury. Let's hope this is not something serious for Connor, but he was hit low there by Tyree at about the 41-yard line. Very close to a first down, but we're going to step aside now for the injury timeout on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network. Welcome back on the South Union Township Sports Network. About to be rejoined by WMBS. Looked like Basinger
4th and 1 for the Mustangs.
was able to come off the field on his own power. We're hoping that that was just a cramp. He looked like he was in extreme pain. Basinger off the field. Edenfield on for the Mustangs. 4th and about a half a yard. They're going to give it to Petrus. No, this is Edenfield. He's going to plow his way ahead. Fakes it to Petrus, and Edenfield takes it himself ahead to the 43-yard line for the Mustang first down.
It's a pretty powerful ram there. Petrus blocking for Edenfield.
And Basinger on the sideline. Looks like he's okay as we came back from the injury timeout.
Now it looks like Ian has a...
Now Edenfield may have a problem. What do we got? He's hurt. His wrist is hurt. Basinger now is not ready to come back in, but Edenfield's going to run back in the huddle. 5 seconds on the play clock, and we're going to need to call a timeout, I think. And they do. Mustangs will call a timeout. It looked like Edenfield hurt his wrist, and he came over to the sideline. But Basinger was not ready to come back in. The Mustangs had confusion on who could run in their quarterback. Edenfield went back into the huddle, but the play clock was down to 5 seconds, so they do call their first timeout of the second half. Ringgold still leads 21-19 with 8:45 to go here. We'll be right back.
Smith, Lewis & Chess, financial services in Uniontown, would like to wish the Laurel Highlands football team and their coaches good luck this football season.
Salem 7.
After the Mustang timeout, we're back on the South Union Township Sports Network. WMBS 2 join. WMBS welcome back in. It's 1st and 10 Mustangs at the 42-yard line. Basinger is back in. This is going to be McClusack, and he's going to lose yardage. Drug out of bounds there by number 8 for Ringgold. That's Majeski on defense, so that's going to be a 2.5-yard loss for McClusack. Nobody blocked Majeski on that play on the jet sweep with McClusack.
Actually, Chad Petrus did try to block him, and he shed that block pretty quick. Again, Majeski's a big lad.
2nd and 12. See if Edenfield's back in the game. I don't see. Yes, he is at left tight end. Basinger. 6 men on the line for Ringgold. Basinger back. He's looking deep. Has a man open and just threw it too far. Aired it out. Intended for Jake Dukeman down the right side, but well overthrown. Dukeman was at about the 25-yard line. Ball fell at the 20. So the Mustangs now will have 3rd and long.
That ball was 40, 45 yards in the air. He just couldn't catch up to it.
Brings up 3rd and 11. He's up 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs.
3rd and down and 11.
41.
Clock stopped at 8:35 to go here in the 4th. Basinger rolls right, looking, being chased. He's going to throw it in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on the right side. Over there, that was Dukeman again, and he was near the first down marker at about the 49. I'm not sure that he would have been able to reach the first down had he made the catch anyway.
There really wasn't
Mustang drive stalls.
There really wasn't anybody after Connor. The offensive line did a nice job of sealing off the defenders on the defensive line, and there was enough defensive backs back that there really wasn't anybody coming up at him.
So Dukeman on to punt, and they've moved Majeski back to receive. So Tyree in the doghouse after that punt, and there's the kick by Dukeman, and that'll be stopped at about the 35-yard line. Down there by the Mustangs, Sean Richter.
24-yard punt.
And Ringgold will take over in decent field position at the 35. So Mustangs push the ball out from their 15-yard line, out near the 45, but unable to keep the drive going. Will now go on defense with 8:23 to go here in the 4th. Ringgold hanging on to that 2-point margin, 21-19.
Well, the big number here is Isel, who has 198 yards passing, so that means he has, 55 yards in the second half. He had 143 in the first half.
He's under center this time. He's going to hand off to Small, and Small breaks it into the backfield. And about 11-yard, 12-yard run by Small.
Small, your ball carrier.
He'll take it out to the 46-yard line for a first down run.
Wow, was he into that? Did he go through that line fast? He was in the defensive backfield before I had a chance to get my binoculars up.
And that's what I was talking about when they were down there first and 15, first down and 10 at the 15. I'm wondering why they didn't take advantage of that power run game that Small provides. First and 10 at the 46. This will be Small again, right up the middle, and he'll be hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down there on a short gain of about 3 yards. Tackle there that time by Ryan Richter. Give him 2. And it looks like Small might have a cramp. He's going to have to possibly step out, but he's going to see if he can hang in there, rubbing it off.
Small, 14 carries for 51 yards.
Now we have the referee stopping play. Official timeout, probably for that injury, but let's see if he's okay. He heads to the sideline, and we'll start the clock again. Ringgold with a new play clock.
In comes
Play
Higgs.
clock's not moving. We should get them all moving. There it is. Referee imploring the clock operator to start the clock. Second down 8. Ball sitting at the 48-yard line of Ringgold. Isel in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the near side. Double slot, and this is a quarterback draw. Isel with some room. Over to the left side, now breaks it into the open inside Mustang territory down to the 35-yard line. So call there from the press box, no doubt. Clear quarterback draw. Broke contain on the left side and took it down the field to the 35-yard line. Give that a 18-yard run by the quarterback Isel.
It's only his 4th carry tonight.
Out of bounds, stops the clock at 7:02 to go.
Gain of 17 on the play. Brings up first and 10 for the Rams from the Mustangs.
All important 35. Time being ticked off now, and there's inside handoff. His ball's on the ground, picked up by Tyree. Now he's going to have some room down the left side on a broken play. Wow. Ball was on the ground, dropped there. It looked like by number 44.
Higgs.
That was Higgs. And Tyree just was the beneficiary of the ball bouncing right up into his hands. And he sprinted around the left side down to the 26-yard line. It ends up being a gain of 9 when it possibly could have been a crucial turnover.
It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Rams.
2nd and 1.
From the Mustang 26.
Wow, that was a big turn of events there, Rick.
Well, they kind of have a free down here with 2nd and 1, Gary, so I'm looking at them to go to the air. Nope, I was
goes
wrong.
small, and he's going to be hit in the backfield, but drags a tackler.
Lost one.
Initial hit there by Edenfield, and he's going to push him backwards. Cleaned up there with help by Richter. That's Sean Richter who came up to help Edenfield, and that's going to be a loss of 1. 3rd and 2 for Ringgold.
27.
Ball sits at the 27-yard line, possibly 4-down territory with 6:20 to go on a running clock. Tyree comes to the near side, sprinting out to the left side is Franks. Heisel under center. He's going to hand it to Small, and he's going to be hit immediately.
Wow.
I don't think he made it.
I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
In there quickly for the Mustangs was Cody Christopher along with Ryan Richter, and it's going to be short, 4th and 2. Actually, he's going to lose a half a yard, Rick. It's going to be 4th and about 3, and it looks like Ringgold's going to go for it.
Well,
Ball sits at the 28.
Coach Just is on the side to the side judge, Gary, about the difficulty of the play clock doesn't start. It starts late, just about every play.
It's under 10 seconds now, and they're going to have trouble getting this off if they don't hurry. Down to 5, 4, 3. Heisel gets it off with 1 second. Fakes, pass over the middle, and there's Majeski with the jumping catch at the 21-yard line. Wow. The old-fashioned tight end jump pass as Geisel got it off with 1 second to go. Majeski just goes right into the middle from a tight end slot, and Geisel just throws it up, and Majeski pulls it down at the 21.
That's what put Tim Tebow on the map, was that jump pass.
Yeah.
Tight end jump pass.
From the Mustang 21.
1st and 10. We're under 5 minutes now, and Ringgold with a new set of downs. They're going to hand it to Small in the backfield, and he's going to push ahead for a few yards. Clock running now. Tackle there by Richter and Christopher.
Well, they don't want
inside the 20 at the 19. Go ahead,
They really
Rick.
don't want to stop that clock, do they, Gary? They want to keep it on the
absolutely
ground.
not.
And, there's no reason for them to throw the
Using
ball.
all kind of valuable time, and it's field position in their favor now
Laurel
at the
Highlands,
19-yard line.
I'm sorry, Gary. Laurel Highlands still has all 3 of their timeouts. Ringgold's used 2. No, I'm sorry. They have all 3. We've used 2 of our timeouts.
That's right. They're going to take timeout now with clock running. They let it run all the way down to 1 second, and Ringgold's going to call timeout with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go. It's Ringgold 21, Laurel Highlands 19. Ball sits at the 19-yard line, 2nd down and 8. We'll be back on the South Union Township Sports Network, WMBS, and the MSA Sports Network. Coming out of the timeout on the South Union Township Sports Network with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Ringgold comes straight to the line, facing a 2nd down and 8. Mustangs deploying their defense now. Ringgold with the instructions after their timeout. As we said, 2nd down and 8. Ball sits at the 19-yard line. Eisel up under center, and they're going to fake the handoff and look deep, and has a man open on the flat, and he steps out of bounds, I think, at about the 11 or 12-yard line. That's Majeski again. And that takes it down to about the 11. That's going to be another 1st down, I believe.
That 8 yards, Gary, puts Caleb Eisel at, I have 213 yards passing.
1st and 10 again for the Rams at the Mustang 11-yard line now.
And Majeski has 7 catches for 93 yards, including that 6-yard touchdown.
They're going to use all of the play clock now. Mustangs may have to start using timeouts with 3:58 to go. Eisel in the shotgun has Small to his right, and he's going to hand off, and Small trying to go around the left side, and he is pursued heavily, and Shuri cleans him up on a 3-yard loss all the way back out to the 14-yard line.
Brendan Small, your ball carrier.
Good pursuit there by the Mustang defense, but that keeps the clock running. 2nd and 13 now.
Down by Shuri. Loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Clock now moving with 3:25 to go here.
For the round from the Mustangs 14.
Ball sits at the 14-yard line. Mustangs need a turnover. Play clock inside 5 seconds, but Eisel is very adept at getting that off. He didn't get this one off.
No, he did not.
Did not get it off, and they called another timeout, Rick. Wow.
Timeout, Rams.
So the coaching staff calls the timeout with 1 tick to go on the play clock, and I thought it already clicked to 0 before the whistle blew, but apparently not. So Ringgold will use another timeout, and that will give us one more chance to step aside. Gary Frankhauser along with Rick Frank. It's 21-19, Ringgold on top. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS and the MSA Sports Network on a Radcliffe and DeHaas Sports Night. Here we go. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Eisel out of the timeout. Has twin receivers out to the right. I believe that's a quarterback draw now. Geisel up the middle. Good tackle there. Coming up to make the hit for the Mustangs.
Eisel, your ball carrier.
Let me see who that was. That was number 10, Richter. Ryan Richter. Gain of about a yard on the quarterback draw.
Gain of 1 on
and gets that clock rolling again. 3rd and 12.
On the Mustang 13.
Quarterback draw by Eisel out of the timeout. Only gains a yard, but gets that clock moving. We're down to 2:37 to go. 3rd down and 12. Eisel sends 2 receivers out to the right. In the shotgun, has Small to his right. Now goes straight back, being chased, and he's going to be able to get it away. Tyree does not make the touchdown, out of bounds. Wow. Caught the ball on the side of the end zone on the bullet by Eisel. Good thing we don't have replay, Rick, because that was close. You guarantee that would have been challenged. And he only needed to get 1 foot in, so I think he caught it with that 1 foot on the line.
Rolled out of bounds.
That's going to be 4th down out of bounds. That stops the clock.
Well, Brandon Chury was chasing him down, and he was Chury was motoring, and Eisel was running for his life to get out. I thought he was going to go down just to keep the clock running, but that was a close play. And
4th down and 12. They're going to go for it, Rick. I thought they might go for the field goal, but Here's Ringgold now with 2:17 to go. They're going to go for it on. And Mustangs bring the house, and they're going to send it to Majewski, and he's knocked away beautifully by the Mustang defender out there. That was number 8 for the Mustangs. Dominic Richter going stride for stride and up high with Majewski. Just tried the fade pattern in the corner.
Wow.
And the Mustangs will take over with 2:13 to go.
What a pass, and what great defense there. You know, it's kind of funny, Gary, because Caleb Eisel's dad is standing right in front of us, and he's riding the roller coaster of this whole game and the passes, and it's this is a great game.
The Mustangs trailing by 2 with 2:13 to go as Basinger will come out. The Mustangs still with, I believe, 2 timeouts, maybe only one.
One timeout.
So 1 timeout remaining.
Both teams have 1. Edenfield is out there. He must have got a stinger on his hand or something earlier.
Can't argue with that move to go for it on 4th down as the ball's all the way back on the 13-yard line. So a long field for the Mustangs. And this is Petrus up the middle, and he's going to carry tacklers all the way out to the 23-yard line, close to a first down.
Tried to get out
up there.
Tried to get out of bounds. They just dragged him down before he could.
We're under 2 minutes now. Mustangs quickly up to the line. But they don't have the play set, and they're trying to get set as precious time is clicking off. So Basinger will now be in the shotgun, gets the snap, looking. He's going to roll to his left, gets rid of it, and that's a good play there to get rid of it and stop the clock. So Majewski was after him intensely, and Basinger just dropped it into the no zone, no man land, but now it's 3rd down and 1. About a half yard, 3rd down and about a half yard. Mustangs have to get the first down. And a holding call, wow, I didn't see that. A flag on the play, and they're going to call a holding, and that's going to push it back 10 yards all the way back to where they started at the 13, and now it's 2nd down and 10, but Ringgold will definitely take that penalty. It is 2nd down. Clock says 3rd down, but it's definitely 2nd down. Now they have it switched. 1:39 to go.
Coach Dust does not agree with that call, believe it or not.
They're moving it back further. All the way back to the 11. So from the point of the foul, it's 2nd down and 13 now.
2nd 11 on the 13.
Rolling left comes Basinger. Tough thing for him to do, and he throws it down the field, and it's incomplete. Some contact there with Dukeman and the defender, no call. That's really difficult with defenders chasing you, rolling to your left as a right-handed quarterback to be able to set your feet and make any kind of an accurate throw.
He didn't have time to set his feet, that's for sure.
3rd and 11, ball's at the 13. Where they have the marker is definitely more than 11, but we'll call it 3rd and 11. I have it 3rd and 13 at the 11. Clock stopped now with 1:32 to go. Play clock down to 10. Edenfield now wide out to the right. They're going to bring pressure. Basinger looking, and he's going to be brought down at about the 11-yard line.
They're going to have to use that timeout.
No gain, and Mustangs are going to have to use a timeout. You're exactly right, Rick. They're going to be faced with 4th and 11. Ball at the 11-yard line. We'll keep it right here as the Mustangs will talk about it with essentially their last opportunity to try to keep this drive alive deep in their own territory. Hit with a holding penalty that really was costly when they definitely had the opportunity to gain another set of downs out at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, probably throwing that ball away would have been advantageous for the Mustangs and
absolutely
save that timeout.
They would have been easily able to get that first down.
It's easy to say when we're sitting up here.
Absolutely.
And we don't have 1,000 pounds of young men
chasing
trying to demolish you.
So they send 2 receivers, Dukeman to the near side, Edenfield to the far side. Wide outs for the Mustangs.
This is the game.
Minute 23 to go. 4th down and 12. Ball at the Mustang 12-yard line. Back goes, and he throws it long and trying to hit Edenfield, and that's going to be too far. So the Mustangs go for broke with a minute 23 to go, and Basinger just out-throws the running Edenfield down the right side. No chance for that catch, and Ringgold will take over. Mustangs have no timeouts, so Ringgold can go into the victory formation and end this thing if they so choose, Rick.
Yeah, that's, I'm sure, the way this is going to end.
Mustangs with the only score here in the second half. Pushed in a touchdown on a Chad Petrus 1-yard run after a 65-yard drive. Tried for 2, were not successful. And that ends up with the 2-point differential that's going to allow Ringgold to pick up their second conference victory, and the Mustangs will go to 0-3 in the conference. Victory formation, they take the knee, and now we're under a minute. Should be no problem for Ringgold to run out the clock. And the Mustangs really have no chance to do anything in this situation. Beisel will let the clock go all the way down to 1 before he snaps it. And he does so, takes the knee again. 3rd down, they will have to do it one more time as the clock will start. 30 seconds on the game clock, 23 seconds on the play clock. And he's going to let it go all the way down to 1 again, and it's only about a 5-second difference. And he'll take the knee with 15 seconds to go. The clock will run out, and the Mustangs' valiant attempt at a comeback falls up 2 points short. And that's our final. Ringgold 21, Laurel Highlands 19. You've seen it on the South Union Township Sports Network and heard it on WMBS and the MSA Sports Network.
Laurel Highlands 19.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back to Joe Montana Stadium in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Good game here tonight between the Ringgold Rams and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Ringgold pulls out the 21-19 victory over the Mustangs when it looked early like the Ringgold Rams were going to run away with it, scoring on their first 3 possessions, a 3-yard run by Brendan Small, a 6-yard pass from Eisel to Majeski, and a 1-yard run by Brendan Small had them set out to a 21-0 lead. The Mustangs came back in the second part of the second quarter with a Basinger 3-yard run. The extra point was no good, making it 21-6 at the 4:06 mark. And with just 13 seconds to go in the half, a 11-yard pass from Basinger to Jacob Dukeman. The kick was good, and that was our halftime score, 21-13. Both teams went back and forth in the second half, and the Mustangs with the only score at the 2:56 mark of the third when Chad Petrus went in from 1 yard out, and the Mustangs were unable to sustain any kind of late drive to pull out this victory. They tried for the 2-point conversion on that touchdown, but it was unsuccessful, and that was the difference. The 2 points, 21-19, Ringgold lead and win. Rick, statistics improved a lot for the Mustangs in the second half. What do we got?
Well, they did improve. They needed to get a little bit better than they were, but big change for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. For Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Connor Basinger was 3 for 9 for 43 yards in the air. He carried the ball 22 times for 75 yards. He had a TD pass. Chad Petrus, 11 carries for 55 yards. Richter, 3 carries for 8 yards. Fike, 3 carries for 12 yards. 43 yards in the air, 140 yards on the ground, 183 yards for the Mustang. That's a big difference from the first quarter, but the Mustangs had a lot more momentum than 183 yards. So
absolutely.
For the Ringgold Rams, Isel was 8 for 12 for 100, and I'm sorry, he was 14 for 20 for 213 yards. He had 20 yards on the ground. Small, who was a big clock burner for them, 19 carries for 48 yards. He did catch a 47-yard pass. Darius Tyree, 2 carries for 14 yards. And the big receiver for the Rams, Macheski, 8 receptions for 93 yards, 213 in the air, 82 on the ground, 295 yards for the Ringgold Rams.
Well, as we said,
it's a great game, though. The statistics don't tell the story about what a good, close game it was.
Good high school game, and give credit to the Mustang coaching staff making some adjustments in that second quarter and following it through into the second half. Keeping the Ringgold Rams off the scoreboard in the second half was really impressive when it looked like they were going to run away with things in the first quarter, scoring on their first 3 possessions. So the Ringgold Rams get their second conference victory. The Mustangs go to 0-3 in conference, 2-3 overall. And we'll be back with one last wrap-up here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffmeyer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and everyone at CUTV with Gary Smith and his staff. This has been Gary Frankhauser and Rick Frank alongside Jerry Dupay on the camera. Another South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Our final once again, Ringgold 21, Laurel Highlands 19. Good night, everyone.
Bye.